Hello, welcome to European Open briefing for Monday, November the 19th. I'm Rafi Boyajan, currency analyst at XM.com, and we're going to be taking a look at what's happening in the currency markets today. The US dollar has started the week on a softer note. On Friday, we had some dovishly perceived remarks from Fed officials, including Vice Chair Richard Clarida. So now there's some expectations that interest rates might go up more gradually than anticipated, or the Fed might even stop raising interest rates, and that has boosted equities across Asia and Europe. We're seeing a positive start as well. On Friday, we did see a positive close on Wall Street. The dollar index is currently trading slightly down on the 96.40, dollar yen hovering around 112.80. If you have a look at the European currencies, the euro got a major boost on Friday following those remarks by Clarida. We saw the euro jumping above the $1.14 level. Sterling also is able to make a recovery on the back of a weaker dollar, as well as somewhat of a calm in British politics at the start of trading this week. Sterling currently trading at 1.2855. If you have a look at the Australian dollar, though, although the Aussie did get a boost from the dollar's decline last week, it's down by around 0.3%. We're seeing remarks by the US Vice President Mike Pence weigh on the Aussie on a little bit, as he cast doubts on earlier remarks made by President Trump with regards to the US softening its stance on China. The Kiwi is also down by around half a percentage points at 0.6838. The loonie is lower as well at 1.3165 to the US dollar, despite the fact that we are seeing higher oil prices. WTI up by a further 1% this morning. It's broken above the $57 a barrel level on expectations that OPEC could cut output in the coming months. Though given the recent declines, the oil's gains are not that substantial. Gold did manage to jump to 1-week high last week. It's slightly lower, mainly on the back of profit taking. And if you have a look at the main performers now, we can see oil is the best performer out of all the instruments, followed by dollar CAD, and then at the bottom we've got the Aussie and the Kiwi. Having a look now at the dollar yen pair more closely, we can see that it has been declining after hitting a high of 114.20 earlier in November. The dollar yen has now slipped to a 2.5-week low. So on Friday, we got some indication that the Fed is keeping an eye on the slowing global economy and whether or not this is going to impact the US economy, and this could possibly affect Fed policy as well. Fed's vice chair did say that slowdown in global economy would be relevant to the US outlook, and we're going to have more Fed speakers coming up later today. John Williams, the New York Fed president, the New York Fed is a permanent voting FOMC member. He's going to be speaking later today, so his comments will also be watched very closely. Taking a look at now sterling, we can see there's been a bit of a rebound to around 1.2870 following last week's tumble, following resignations in May's cabinet, as well as widespread opposition to her draft Brexit deal. So there's talk of leadership challenge to Theresa May, although the latest indications are that there's yet to be the 48th required number of letters by Conservative MPs to trigger a leadership challenge. At the moment, it's rumored to be around 42, so possibly they could meet that threshold in the coming days, in which we could likely see a fresh sell-off in sterling if there is a leadership challenge. Although there was some support for Theresa May, her former Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab, although he did resign in opposition in protest at a Brexit deal, he says that May is still the right person to lead the country. May is refusing to renegotiate with the EU despite everybody insisting that she does so, and she has warned that toppling her could delay Brexit. So now she's not looking, her position is looking relatively safe. So that's somewhat helping sterling stabilize both against the euro and the dollar. And finally, quick look at the Australian dollar. It did rally to 2.5 months high, 0.7337 on Friday. We had some comments by President Trump saying that that they may not need to impose additional tariffs on China, as China wants to make a deal. Last week, China did send a list of things that they are proposing in order to strike a trade deal with the US, but Trump has said that the list excludes a few big things. But Trump is fairly optimistic, perhaps more so than his Vice President Mike Pence, who at a summit of an APEC countries over the weekend, he said that the US is not intending on removing its tariffs until China has changed its ways. That somewhat dampened sentiment. It's going to be fairly quiet for the rest of the day, apart from that upcoming speech by John Williams. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.